Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I'm going to change my seat. It might even be in the middle of the show. But I'm going to change my seat to be closer to the televisions. Hey, I watched a little bit of our show that was put up yesterday on the Facebook page. And I tell you right now, we sounded pretty good. We looked pretty good. And yesterday at 1:30, I had a conference call with the big wigs from New York on the television deal. And it is full speed ahead. They are as excited as can be. And things just keep moving forward.
So what time did you talk to them?
At 1:30.
Wow.
And I'm telling you right now, it is going to be a hoot. And the fans are going to love it. America's going to love it. And the enemies are going to hate it. But we don't care about them. Quote of the day: people who are unable to motivate themselves must be content with mediocrity, no matter how impressive their other talents. Think of yourself as on the threshold of unparalleled success. A whole, clear, glorious life lies before you. Achieve, achieve. That was from the little Scot, Andrew Carnegie. He was about 5'2", and when he formed the U.S. Steel Corporation, he was worth $300 million at that time, turn of the century time, which made him the wealthiest man in the world. How do you like that? Pretty good, isn't it? Yesterday was an incredibly busy day. So darn busy. Did y'all like my radio promo? I don't know if you saw my radio promo. My radio promo today was, if you live in Ohio and you vote for Obama, you're stupid. If you live in Iowa and vote for Obama, you're stupid. And if you live in Wisconsin and you vote for Obama, you're stupid. From Francis from Stripes.
Is there anywhere they wouldn't be stupid?
Do y'all remember that? No, they wouldn't. You'd be stupid anywhere. But you remember Francis from Stripes? Mm-mm. This is good stuff.
The name's Francis Sawyer. But everybody calls me Psycho. Any of you guys call me Francis, and I'll kill you.
Isn't that great? 1908, Billy Murray. I wonder if he was the grandfather or father of Bill Murray. Hits the charts with "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." How do you like that? This is, next time you hear this, you're going to think of Billy Murray. Dun, 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 dun. 1926, Harry Houdini's last performance in Garrick Theater in Detroit, where he died of a ruptured appendix. 1931, George Washington Bridge connecting New York and New Jersey open. We live in Cincinnati, so we don't care. 1939, Denise, nylon stockings went on sale for the first time.
1939?
Yeah, I'm not a stocking kind of guy. I bet you Garrett is. I bet you Garrett is penthouse, painted toenails, stockings, and high heels all the way.
Oh, I love a good set of stockings on a woman.
I knew you would be.
I'm glad you specified on a woman.
Keith Richards was
1939. Was that the year you were born, Denise? Is that why he kind of looked at you?
Yeah,
bingo, pow, man.
Yeah. The Bulldog and I are the same age, so of course.
Actually, I'm 2 years older than you.
I know, but we're close.
That would be 1937 for the dog, 39 for Didge.
Kevin Kline, an actor I really like, is 65 today. John Heisman, who they named the Heisman Trophy after, his birthday was today. And there's a new biography out about him, and I'm going to buy it and read it. Did you know that John Heisman was, in fact, an actual football player?
I would have assumed that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Apparently, he was a good one. And also, J.P. Big Bopper Richardson. Chantilly lace. You guys got to find Chantilly lace. Look at Jake. Look at me. He has no idea. Go find Chantilly lace.
I'm going to look it up.
J.P. Big Bopper Richardson is somebody that died with Richie Valens and Buddy Holly
the day the music
in the plane
died.
crash. Chantilly. Okay, I'll just sing it for you. Chantilly lace, pretty face, a ponytail hanging down, a wiggle in the walk, a giggle in the talk. Oh, makes the world go round.
You got it. I even remember.
What? What'd you say, honey? You said what? You said come on over at 8 and don't be late. Oh, my goodness. Today is a 40-hour work week day. For all of you that are having to work more than 40 hours, you tell the boss that not this week. It isn't going to happen. National Crazy Day. Now, that's ambiguous, isn't it? Take me out to the ball game day. I wonder why. Niagara Falls Barrel Day. National Bologna Day. Anybody wants to bring us bologna sandwiches for breakfast, we'll let you in. And Lung Health Day.
Lung health or
Lung Health.
Lung
L-U-N-G,
health, not
lung.
health.
quit
lung
smoking?
health.
Stop that smoking. We are proud to report, happy to report, there are no, and I mean no, military deaths to report. Forecast today, partly cloudy, high of 80, low of 54. Thursday, high of 79, low of 53. Friday, few showers, high of 63. And ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I already know what the answer is going to be, but let's get a traffic report.
What do you think the answer's going to be?
Everything is fine.
Well, okay. That's good. That's good enough for me. You did a great job, and you want to switch seats with me, too. So,
Yeah, but I'm not going to do traffic.
Oh, well, you know what? That was pretty easy for you to do today.
I want to be closer to those televisions.
Yeah, well, I don't
Because I forget to look at them. I bought 4 of them. By the way, I just want to tell you, we're doing this fund drive for Class X Radio, sponsors and whatnot, like PBS. You got to remind me, Denise. I got to put that up on my newsletter and my blog and my Facebook tonight and tomorrow to promote for tomorrow. But anyway, I'm thinking to myself, hey, Bill Spry, am I considered a sponsor of the radio station since I bought 4 televisions?
I should say yes.
I would think.
I ought to be like a gold or platinum sponsor of some kind.
They were kind of dogging us yesterday because they're doing that fund drive like right now. They consider it starting at 6 in the morning. So they, considering that this group, we're the morning team, I'm like, no, wait a minute. Every dog has his day. We just chose Thursday.
That's
Or
right.
You did.
We're focused on Thursday.
That's right.
ABC and CNN say Obama didn't go on an apology tour when he took office. That is complete BS. You know what? He actually said, America, sometimes pretty arrogant, push yourselves around, push people around. Gloria Allred, we're going to jackwagon her up. She's attempting to have a deposition given by Romney in a messy divorce case unsealed. The suggestion is there's some sort of juicy information on Romney in sworn testimony. Hey, Gloria Allred, you are a jackwagon.
You jackwagon?
Chris Matthews claims Romney supporters are fueled by racial hatred of Obama and that they hate Obama more than they want to destroy Al-Qaeda. Chris Matthews, you're a jackwagon.
You jackwagon?
And if I didn't know Dan Francis, the preacher, was listening, I'd say more about you, buddy. University of North Carolina has stopped using the word freshman on university campus and documents in an attempt to use more gender-inclusive language. Jackwagon up, Chapel Hill.
You jackwagon?
What are they going to use?
Tar Heels. I can't believe
Fresh
it.
people?
Totally unbelievable. Armstrong Cable board chairman has donated tens of thousands to Romney. Now the company has begun to offer the movie Obama's America 2016 to its cable subscribers, 6 states, including Ohio, for free on demand. Oracle status.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
John Paulson. He and his family have donated $100 million to the Central Park Conservancy in New York as a thank you for the memories his family has had at the park, dating back to his grandparents' first date there in the 1920s. We'll give him Oracle status, but there's a caveat. This is the guy that made a ton of money. He bet right when all the double swap derivatives went south, the mortgage loan industry went south. He cashed out huge. It was big.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Did you know that Apple was founded as a partnership on April Fool's Day in 1976 by 3 people who worked at Atari? Stephen Wozniak, Stephen Jobs, and Ronald Wayne. Nobody's heard of Wayne. It was incorporated on January 3rd, 1977 without Wayne, who sold his shares back for $800. Wayne wrote the Apple I manual, drafted the partnership agreement, and drew the first Apple logo. Bad move, Wayne. Isn't Isn't that a great story? Nobody heard of that story.
No.
Wayne missed.
You only hear
out
that story on
billions.
Class X radio.
Hey, what about Atari? Did you ever play Atari?
Yeah.
I loved Atari.
Ping
What was
pong.
your favorite game?
Ping pong.
Pong.
Robots weren't bad. Camel urine saved the day.
Kaboom.
In 1815, Captain James Riley and his crew of the Commerce drank camel urine to stay alive after they shipwrecked off the coast of Africa and had to cross the Sahara Desert to reach home.
They drank.
Camel urine. Ugh.
Would you
Right.
drink your own urine? They say it's full. You can once
Yeah.
if you're desperate.
Obama's high school yearbook picture inscription thanks Tut, Gramps, and the Choom Chang. Choom is Hawaiian slang for pot smoking. Barack Obama had a Choom gang.
Big old pot smokers.
Did you know that shortly before she married Bill Clinton in 1975, Hillary tried to join the Marines? The Marine recruiter rejected her on the grounds that she was too old, couldn't see very well, and she was a woman. Ho, 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 baby. That's interesting.
It is.
I'm giving you some good stuff today. Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy and head of Star Trek's parent company, Desilu Productions, single-handedly kept Star Trek from cancellation during the first season. Ain't like that. Kept it propped up. All right, we're now going to wake you up with some good Beach Boys. Wouldn't it be nice? And we come back, we're getting closer to pop culture and some more great stuff. Radio Superbity, we call it, right here on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. They've given me a new song list, and of course, some of these songs just don't cut the Bulldog standard. See, they don't get on unless I say yay. If you would like to sponsor Class X Radio, call 513-201-8891. Think of a wide receiver and a defensive end. 8891. 513-201-8891, or go to ClassXRadio.com and become official member of Class X. Tomorrow I'm going to do 6 to 6 with some help from my buddy Dan Francis and the traffic gal, I think, too. You ready for a blonde moment sometime soon? I thought we were going to do like a blonde moment every day where you say something stupid.
I told you. I said I don't want to have to
When
say
when we come back, we're going to have some radio superbity on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. A little bit of useless information for you, but it's kind of funny. Why couldn't Chevrolet sell the Nova in South America? I'll tell you, by the way, my first car was a 1972 Chevy Nova. The reason why is because Nova means it doesn't go in Spanish. That's funny.
That is pretty good.
And one of my favorite Marvel Comics superheroes of all time, and they must have killed him off because he's not around anymore, but in 79 he was, when I was collecting comic books, was Nova. 77. He was called the Nova. He was pretty bad. MTV will air a live 30-minute interview with President Obama across its various networks on Friday at 5 p.m. Yeah. Think people are going to be listening? No, they're going to be partying. Nobody will be listening at 5 p.m. Magic Johnson, he is being sued by his personal flight attendant who he fired last month. She says he fired her for being 15 minutes late to his private jet, but claims he only fired her to hire a much younger woman.
Oh.
And your point is?
Can't she sue for that?
No. Eva Longoria confirmed that her 37-year-old, that her relationship has ended with quarterback Mark Sanchez. Yeah, like that was going to last. These people that have these relationships with famous people, they just get passed around. Eva Longoria, Tony Parker, and then she had somebody else, I think, then Mark Sanchez. You get a reputation for being a skank. That's what I think. Republican Kelly Clarkson is voting for Obama. Yeah, right. You're not Republican Kelly Clarkson. You're a jack. Let's jackwagon up Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, that's...
You jackwagon?
Dr. Drew said he referred Michael Lohan to a lower-profile intervention specialist to help with his daughter because he felt she would be intimidated by his stature. Let me tell you something. I've been on the Dr. Drew Pinsky show, and this dude named Hinkle always contacts me wanting to. He was a jerk to me. Then he called me wanting to get an interview with Sarah Jones. I was like, Doc. He said, hey, we'd like to have you as a regular lawyer commentating on Dr. Drew's show. Dr. Drew is as boring as looking at paint dry. Boring.
He looks like a nerd.
That would be pretty boring.
They got to put my television show head to head with Dr. Drew. Dun, 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 dun. Megan Fox is threatening to sue a website for photographing her head onto a nude woman's body. Oh, well, have you ever had your head photographed on a nude body?
Not that I know of.
All right.
I guess it's possible, but not that I'm aware of.
Terrell Owens was beat in a game of pickup basketball by a 4'5" man who plays in the Venice Basketball League. Don't believe the hype, little man got game, said Terrell Owens. Carlton Fix was arrested for DUI. Open vodka bottle inside his F-150. You know what? For hitting that home run in Game 6, it serves you right. The network, Fox News, had its highest viewed telecast ever with the final presidential debate, as 11.474 million tuned to Fox News. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Biden got an earful in Ohio. Vice President Biden at Schmucker's restaurant. This guy said he would enjoy his last couple of months, also telling him, just because you're a good guy doesn't mean you're a good vice president. Wow, baby, tell it the way it is. 25-year-old Joshua Bort was sentenced to 1 year in prison for having sexual contact with a student while he was a resident advisor at the school. May he burn in hell. My God. Morning View. We had 20 acres burned yesterday. 12 fire departments from northern Kentucky to help. That's near my neck of the woods.
I was just going to say, isn't that out by you?
An unidentified man was shot while on a basketball court outside the Stanley Rose Senior Citizens Community Center about 4:30 yesterday. That's not good. A Cheviot man was busted for selling heroin in a White Castle parking lot. Isn't that special? And you know Turfway, instead of having 81 days, we're only going to have 47 days. It won't be long, Turfway. We'll be bye-bye. Bye-bye. Michael Crooms will spend 30 years in prison for the murder of 16-year-old Deshaun Hammond in June of 2011. That family had contacted me, the Hammond family. That's sad, sad, sad. And here's a guy that will burn in hell. 30-year-old Stephen Haley was sentenced to 15 years to life for murdering his girlfriend's 4-month-old infant. I want to tell you something. I watched that family yesterday on the news, and I felt so, so bad for him. A little baby. I see my little baby, little Reagan, my little granddaughter. I held her last night. God, I would freaking kill him.
You know, I was listening this morning
kill him.
Where there was a man that stabbed his wife and cut their baby out of her stomach. The baby died. The woman is okay. I mean, this was just this morning. I don't know if it's in our list of stuff.
Man, that's messed up.
It is. I mean, when you start thinking about, cut the baby out of her.
By the way, also, the Villa Hills hearing for the mayor continues. It has to be an unanimous vote. And it was like 4-3 to hire the prosecutor in the first place. What a big waste of time, Villa Hills. I ought to sue Villa Hills for the Villa Hills residents to get their money back. Make those jackwagons pay their money back. That's what I think. Hey, Jake, did you find a song that had Liar in it yet?
I did. Rolling Stones' Lies.
Really? Good job. Don't play that yet, though. I want to save that for a special time. Special time. Did anybody go see Obama yesterday in Dayton? The answer must be no.
I was going to say, let's see. If anybody answered yes, what would happen to them today?
They would get jackwagoned up is what they would happen to them today.
I heard Denise went.
You jackwagon?
Def Leppard, by the way, pour some sugar on me is Preacher Randy's favorite song of all time. This is Def Leppard. A one-armed drummer. For all you people that think you're disabled, get out there and get a job. If you only have one arm, you can at least be a drummer in a rock and roll band. This is Def Leppard Hysteria on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Well, we found out at the break that Jake had a broke-back moment last night. Jake, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury about your experience at the grocery.
Well, I was hit on by a younger Asian man as I was leaving. And
tell us all about it.
Well, I went in, I bought 2 cans of soups, and as I was walking out, had the soup in my hand. It kind of started raining, and he said something like, "Oh, is it raining?" And obviously, he knew it was raining. He was just trying to start a conversation.
That's what they always do.
I think it's drizzling. And then he asked me about what I was cooking for dinner, and he kind of laughed when I told him soup. I don't know if that's funny to him or whatever. And then he asked me how old I was. I said I'm 21. He said, "Oh, it must be easy for you to go out clubbing at night," as if.
But it was clear to you he was hitting.
It was clear to me that
Did
it was
he
hitting.
say anything else even more forward than that? Like, can I have your phone number, please?
No, nothing after that.
Will you take your pants off right now, please?
Well, yeah, that of
to
course,
that
yeah.
effect.
I mean, yeah.
Where
that's a
were
given.
you exactly?
Did he ask to escort you to the parking lot?
He was escorting me. He was right behind me.
What would give him the impression that you were gay? What kind of soup were you buying? This is big.
Vegetarian vegetable soup.
I'll tell you.
That's
I'll tell
why.
you somebody you never want to screw up and say anything that is even close to a broke-back moment is Chuck, because he'll punch you, man.
Why? Has he had several?
He's going to punch. He'll come in here. He is.
There
worse
he
than me.
is, Chuck! No!
Have you ever been hit on by a guy?
Yes. No, not me specifically, but I've been...
Make up your mind. You sound like
Yes?
Barack Obama.
No. I was at a bar one time, and it was like a dueling piano thing, and one of the guys that was playing was gay, and came up and started talking to me, my brother, and my friend I was with, who are all
You say
my
too
roommates.
many times. Go on, finish the story.
And he was hitting on us.
Well, how do you guys know? I mean, how do you know the guy
How about
wasn't?
you? Has any woman ever hit on you?
You know what? I did have just recently. I actually had a woman
Really?
hit on me on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Were you?
And that was
did you let her down gentle?
Well, yeah, basically, I just kind
Please
of
tell
ignored
me
it.
you guys got
I just
it
kind of
on.
All right.
Sorry, dude.
As we wrap up pop culture, Bill Maher last night, I watched a little bit of it. He had this black woman named Goldie Taylor who's on MSNBC. She is a mean, nasty woman. My God. And I also watched Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Killer, on DirecTV. That was one of the stupidest movies of all time.
I heard it was pretty bad.
Who got that idea? It's like, hey, let's make Neil Armstrong a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
I mean, what the... I mean, it was just stupid.
I think it was a book, and then they made a bad movie. Have you seen the new previews for the new Abraham Lincoln movie?
Yes, it looks awesome.
Spielberg?
Yep.
I mean, it's
Daniel
really
Day-Lewis?
Yeah,
like
he looks like Abraham Lincoln.
He's a great actor.
In sports, I got to start out with my Cowboys are going to play the Giants on Sunday. And I understand that our all-pro linebacker, Sean Lee, has a ligament problem. Our running back is hurt. And unlike the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just win even if they're all hurt, my Cowboys are wimps. You know, if they beat the Giants, they'd be 4-3. The Giants would be 5-3. I mean, they'd be better than tied with them because they would have beat the Giants twice. But no, they're going to lose. Tonight, the World Series starts, 8 p.m. on Fox. Detroit at San Francisco. What? My goodness gracious. Who cares of that matchup? I mean,
People
I
in
could care
Detroit.
less.
Should be
What? Is
Detroit
it
at
sure?
Cincinnati.
The NHL has refused to request a restart of negotiations. If a deal isn't reached by Thursday, a full regular season will be impossible. It's going down to the wire. Ozzie Guillen has been fired as manager after one season with the Marlins. They admit it has something to do with his little comment about Fidel Castro. The association, the NFL Players Association, filed papers requesting that Paul Tagliabue recuse himself from the bounty probe because he works for a law firm that represents the NFL in the bounty case. Jeez, oh, Pete. Dale Earnhardt has been cleared to race in Martinsville this weekend after sitting out 2 weeks with concussions. Idaho State football coach, like we care, Mike Kramer's been suspended for shoving a player to the ground during October 3rd practice. Maybe the player deserved it. Tiger Woods has broken ground on his first golf course. He's building a golf course in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Reported budget of $12 million for the 1,500-acre property that overlooks the Pacific. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, we do have the big bopper, Chantilly Lace. We've got to play a little bit of this. Jake found it for me. I think you're going to enjoy it. He was on the plane. And, of course, we know that Waylon Jennings lost a coin flip, was not on the plane. We know this airplane crash led to the day the music died. And tell your story there, Garrett.
About the
change in policy notifying. It's a pretty good story.
Yeah, the police changed their policy after that crash that the families wouldn't be notified.
It wouldn't be made public until the family was notified.
The names wouldn't be made public until police were notified because I guess Buddy Holly's wife found out on TV, and his mom found out on radio, and his wife had a miscarriage the next day after that plane crash.
Not good.
Due to psychological trauma.
Not good. And we also have for you, for your special listening pleasure, this is a classic. This is from Stripes, since we honored Francis earlier. This is from the movie Stripes.
Which one?
The Army training.
Oh, yeah.
Where the hell have you been, soldier? Training, sir! Training, sir! What kind of training, son?
Army training!
Army training, sir!
I wanted the whole thing.
Oh, my bad. I'll get the whole thing.
Jake, I'm going to send you the store if you don't straighten up today.
I'll take a Snickers.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to say everybody needs their...
There was a shark attack in California.
Oh, boy.
Dun, dun, dun. He actually was killed. God love this guy. Francisco Javier Solorio. Attacked by a shark off a beach belonging to the Air Force Base.
Is he German? He's a German guy.
Yeah. He's smart aleck. Kwashi, the 30-year-old silverback gorilla in Cincinnati Zoo, died Sunday. May she rest in peace. Oh, it's a he.
Kwashi, well, that would be kind of a questionable.
Is that the one that kind of inspired the soccer team that was here like 15 years ago for 1 year?
Hell if I know.
The Silverbacks?
Maybe it was.
I believe it was.
A new study shows that people with type 2 diabetes and eat a daily dose of beans can improve their health.
Diabetes.
My favorite food is baked beans.
Really?
Baked beans with brown sugar. I could eat it every day for every meal.
Oh.
Last night, by the way, the wife made meatloaf. I had meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Where's ours? You didn't bring any in.
I didn't bring any in.
Why is meatloaf like the food that everybody says, oh, she's making meatloaf again? Like that's some horrible,
I know.
You know?
But have you ever watched
Your
it?
wife must make bad meatloaf.
Even my mom makes great meatloaf.
But have you ever watched it being made? It's really gross. I mean,
no,
it's
not.
It's just bread and meat and
it's
stuff.
bread, but it's egg, and
Eggs.
you stick your hands in. My daughter was watching me make it, and she's like, that is disgusting. So when you mix it all up, that's what,
No, I think...
It's a loaf of meat, but it is good. I make it, so don't
that's why they call it meatloaf.
It's a loaf of meat.
There's the blonde moment.
Unbelievable.
I wish we could save that for a cut. Would that not be a great cut?
Cuts.
Oh, my God. You didn't realize that one, did you?
I was stating the obvious. It's a loaf of meat. Yes, that's why they call it meatloaf.
All right.
Maybe we need to hear meatloaf now.
George Harrison, What is Life is my going away song, but I can tell you right now, this is the Bulldog. This is the official. I'm making it right now. This is the official Bulldog Nation theme song. One-hit wonder Trooper on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Isn't that awesome? Now, I would like on, they're not going to care if they do some kind of infringement. Like, yeah, right. I would like the Bulldog Nation theme song, Raise a Little Hell by Trooper, up on all my websites, Denise. TheBulldogsNation.com, as well as EricDeters.com. I'm not kidding you. Where you press a button and it plays. That'd be cool. Boy, we're making such progress. Garrett, can you now play, finally, from Stripes, the whole training song?
Yes.
This is class.
Stripes.
Classic. Stripes.
Where the hell have you been, soldier? Training, sir! Training, sir! What kind of training, son?
Army training, sir!
Army training, sir! Just like last night, only better. Head, right shoulder, hold. Order, hold. Side step, right. Who white the chicken cross the road? Take it from the left to the right. Right. Head. Head. He stepped out a ring, got hit by a train. He ain't no chicken no more. No. Left leg, left.
This is classic. They stayed up all night.
It's a guy thing, isn't it?
They didn't have their uniforms on right. Hats were on backwards. This is classic. Stripes is a classic comedy. The guy loses his job, his girlfriend, his car gets repossessed. And he loses. So what's he do? You join the army.
2, 3, 4.
It has been a long time. When did that come out?
Oh, the lazy dog.
Late 80s, wasn't it?
I was gonna say, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
That's what I think. All right, folks. I gotta save that story about Trump and Gloria Allred. It's too good. Tag Romney shook hands and apologized to President Obama after debate Monday night for comments about wanting to take a swing at him. Come on now, Tag, calm down. The Secret Service is aware of thousands of tweets claiming individuals, mostly teens and 20-somethings, will assassinate Romney should he be elected. Jeez, old Pete. The problem with homemade explicit videos. Get this. A study shows that 88% of homemade explicit videos and photos end up on explicit parasite websites, most without the owner's knowledge. The parasite websites obtain their material from lost stolen phones, Facebook, Twitter, PhotoBucket, and chat sites, and is mostly of high school and college-age students. Yeah, because they share them. You know, if you get a video of your girlfriend or a picture, you don't share with your buddy.
Not meant to be.
That's messed up. By the way, guess what? Cameron has got a date for the Halloween party.
Oh, really?
On Friday night.
Whoa.
And her name is Chandler.
Oh, I know who he's talking
about. I met her
about.
last night. Wow.
Yeah, she's
a pretty girl.
She is pretty.
Does that surprise you?
No, but I'm just happy for the guy.
I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yep, big date with Chandler. My stepboy is moving on. Moving on up, too, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say, too. She's a looker.
I'd say. The Secret Service, I already covered that. The U.S. Marine Corps, their website says every Marine is still required to complete a bayonet training program because the weapon becomes just as effective a rifle in close combat situation. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the commander-in-chief didn't know Marines still use bayonets. Jack wagging him up. Unbelievable. Is that not classic? And it's the Marine Corps that put it out there. Just think, every Marine veteran, every active Marine, what's the chance of Obama getting more than 10% of those votes? Not likely. How about a traffic report, Denise? I think I forgot you last time.
Well, that's okay. You know why? Because a couple things did just come up. Queen City, there's an accident at the Queen City bypass. Also, Drake at Wasson Road. And let me see here. It's hard to read around the microphone. In Amelia Olive Branch Road at Judd Road. So a couple of accidents. It's starting to, 7 o'clock, so things are starting to pick up out there. So not looking too bad. We might have to take the helicopter up here in just a little bit, Garrett, and check everything out in another half an hour or so.
It's working.
Okay, good deal. We got it up and running.
Working. Good job, Denise. Way to get it rolling there. And that's what's great about the U.S. Marine Corps. We need to find, Jay, can you find, I would love to play this in honor of the Marine Corps for coming down this. I would like for you to find for me the Gomer Pyle's version of the Marine Corps song. And if we can't find Gomer Pyle, just another good one will do. New York's highest court has ruled that lap dances are not art and are taxable because they don't promote culture in the same way that ballet does. This is an outrage. Those dancers that do those lap dances, it is art. Have you ever been to it? Now, you can be honest, Denise.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
I know exactly where you're going.
Some women have. I want to tell you right now.
I take it back. I have been to a strip joint. I've just never had anybody do a lap
Why
dance.
is it? But you've been, okay. I say it's art. Garrett?
Art.
No question.
Art in what way? How is it
Jake?
art?
Dancing's an art, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's awesome art. It's the best kind of art. Who wants to look at a painting?
I gotta tell a funny story about the funniest lap dance of all time.
Go for it.
This is hilarious. My brother Seth, 1 year younger than me, who has got cerebral palsy, okay? He'd never been anywhere. I mean, he's never even been on a plane about 2 or 3 years ago. I take him to Vegas for a weekend. We could make a movie about this trip, and I'm just going to focus on one story, all right? So I take him to a club, all right? And it's a fancy one because I ain't going to go to a raunchy one. And all I remember is this Jamaican dancer who's black. By the way, my brother obviously likes brown sugar. He is a tightwad. He kept this woman doing lap dances for freaking an hour or more.
How did he do that?
Shelling out his money.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, she was well endowed, okay? All right? I will never, ever forget this. This is a classic, all-time scene. I'm sitting there about 4 feet from him, and there may have been a Russian dancer near me. I don't remember. There might have been a Russian dancer somewhere in my vicinity. And I'll never forget looking to the left. And this woman was doing a lap dance and had it, just hanging in his face. And Seth, you can make Seth laugh if he's with you by just saying the word fart or boobs. He laughs. Seth looks over at me, just looks up, why this is going on, looks over at me, and just goes, ah! He just starts laughing and could not stop laughing.
Nobody was saying the word, huh?
No, I'm not. He just, and to this day, he keeps wanting me to take him back to Vegas. And I told Seth, I said, Seth, now when you come to Vegas, nothing in Vegas, stays in Vegas, I not tell anybody, Eric. I not tell anybody. I go up to BP Monday morning. Walk in the door. Everybody's, oh, man, we heard all about Vegas. I said, God, I hope my mom and dad don't find out.
How old were you guys when this happened?
I was a couple years ago, so I was like 46, 47. Oh, so that means he was 44, 43. I had the Simon Kenton football parents falling off the bleachers laughing when I tell the entire Vegas story. It is a movie. I got to write the screenplay.
Oh, but
Seth goes to Vegas.
You made his. I
made his life, man.
Right, I was just going to say
that trip to Vegas is the highlight of his life.
Well, you were going to say you said something before because you said well endowed, and I'm thinking, well, with a lap dancer, would that be frontal
It's a positive.
or
It's a positive.
or
It's a
rear?
positive.
I mean,
Plus.
is it
Plus.
better to have
You
a big backside?
No.
big
well endowed breastises.
Okay, well, but some men like big butts, like the song, big
Not
butts,
me.
and you can't.
I don't like a big butt.
Okay, well, I'm not.
I like a well-shaped one.
Okay.
Just like my wife's.
Okay, well, that's good. Or the show of the chicks in Vegas.
She was only in the vicinity. She might have been Russian. She might have been near me. I can't remember.
I believe she was near your brother, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, obviously he kept, giving money, so he said she was right there.
Is it time for a song yet?
It is.
I need to be saved by a song.
This
is Edgar Winter Free Ride on Class X Radio. The Bulldog on Class X Radio. Blondie just came up with a great idea. Hold it to yourself now. How about a traffic report, Denise? For that idea, I'm going to defer to you and get a traffic report right away so I don't offend you by forgetting about traffic.
Yeah, I have all kinds of good ideas. You just haven't heard them all. I'm sitting here actually looking at a camera on 7175 just past Kyle, so heading towards the Cutting Hill. Looks like a problem on the left shoulder, and that's got traffic backed up there. So already heading in on 7175. And there's also a couple of other accidents. If you're just getting ready to head out Queen City at Queen City Bypass, Drake at Wasson, Amelia Branch Road at Judd, and in Milford, Route 28 at Old State Route 28. But again, doesn't look like anything major going on there. Just kind of watching. I'll keep watching that accident on 7175 or whatever it is. That always causes problems over there heading into downtown. People don't have a way around.
I want to just say this, and I think you'll agree with me. We complain about traffic from time to time, but if you've driven at all in any other major city, we got it easy.
We have nothing. Yeah,
we have nothing to complain about. There's people that's been like L.A. I know some people have lived in L.A. By the way, going back to the Seth trip to Vegas, I'm going to have some great topics all day long, and I'm going to intersperse them, and I'm going to tell stories for the most part, and you're going to love these stories. And I will tell Thursday in my radio marathon, I'm going to tell the entire Seth Vegas trip story. But I used that as part of my act at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, and the place was in stitches, falling off their chairs. And some of my critics said, well, he didn't tell jokes, he just told stories. And I'm like, oh, they're all laughing. Did you find the Marine theme song, Jake? I was going to ask you about it. No, he didn't. That means he didn't. It's all right, man. It's all right. It's all right. You know, the executive producer might discipline you in the future if you're not able to find things.
That's right, Jay.
Which first lady liked to smoke a corncob pipe?
Michelle Obama.
I love the fact that you take a swing every time, Garrett. Give yourself Oracle status.
Thank you.
Give yourself Oracle status.
A corn cob pipe.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Of Zachary Taylor did, baby.
Next guess.
She liked to smoke her pipe. By the way, Rachel Jackson did too, but she died before Jackson took office. Which first lady had a raised platform built in the White House upon which she could receive guests at a reception?
Reagan's.
I thought you were going to say Michelle Obama. Nancy Reagan?
Nancy Reagan.
No, Julia Gardner Tyler did that. Which first lady would stage the silent treatment to any member of the White House staff who displeased her?
Hill?
Bess Truman.
Bess.
You going to finish reading what he called her?
You know what? She did not stay at the White House the whole time. She would stay in Independence and leave Harry Truman with his poker buddies.
I picture a 450-pound just beast of a woman.
By the way, I'm going to share with you.
Says he called her the boss.
Bessie.
Her wife's boss.
I got to share with you about Harry Truman. This is incredible. A good student in high school, this is from the book Citizen Soldier I'm reading. A good student in high school, Harry was conscientious and well-behaved. The curriculum was conservative, blah, 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 blah. History was his favorite subject. He was a great reader on his own, boasting that he read all 3,000 books in the local library. A centrally important work in his own private library was Charles F. Horne's Great Men and Famous Women. Harry most admired Alexander the Great, Hannibal, Charles Martel, who stopped the Muslim horde. I think in 732. Cincinnatus and Robert E. Lee. He never mentioned the famous women. In fact, soon after he became president, he was relieved Frances Perkins, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Secretary of Labor, the first and only woman to serve in a cabinet up to that time, left his cabinet. He read Caesar, Cicero, Plutarch, Marcus Aurelius, Emerson, and Twain. He later saw some merit to Lincoln after discounting family prejudice. He loved to read, and he read history. How you like that? Harry Truman. By the way, this is funny because it ties into today. Independence, Missouri, back in the day, I was just reading, where the local residents drove the Mormons out of town. They didn't want any Mormons sticking around. All right, let's get to politics, shall we? We shall. An unplanned stop at an Obama office in Springfield, Ohio, Biden was met with the shrieking sounds of nearly 80 people, mostly women over 50. One 74-year-old claimed he's just a magnet. One woman left the VP surprisingly speechless when she said she makes sure to have a cup of joe every morning. Oh my God.
I was right there with you.
Can we jackwagon that woman up?
Please.
You jackwagon?
The Romney campaign decided it had nothing to do with the story brought forward by a man, allegedly a close friend of the president, claiming that President Obama used and sold cocaine during his college years. Now, let me tell you what they did. Here's what they did. They said, we're not interested. What do you think the campaign of Barack Obama would do if that was brought about Romney?
Smear him.
Romney has class. Obama is a gutter Chicago thug. Socialist, Muslim thug. That's the way I feel about it. Romney said we haven't heard an agenda from the president. That's why his campaign is taking on water, and our campaign is full steam ahead. A real good assistant producer would have that clip.
Jake
slipped today.
Is
there something on Jake's mind? You know what it is?
Is it
It's the gay Asian guy. The gay Asian guy hit on him last night at the grocery store, and he's lost his mojo.
The gay Asian guy got in his head.
You know, I want to know.
Obama and Dayton.
Jake, text your woman, send her a naked picture of yourself, have her send a naked picture of you.
Don't do that.
Have some, just do something very manly.
Hold on.
And get back on track.
We might be falsely accusing Jake here. It might be an executive producer error.
Really?
You talk about how much you love teachers during a debate. But just a few weeks ago, you said we shouldn't hire anymore because it won't grow our economy. You might have Ramnesia.
You're a liar. He's a liar.
If you say you won't give a big tax cut to the wealthy, but you're on a video promising your tax cut would include the top 1%, that sounds like a classic case of Ramnesia.
Hey, we have a theme song for the Barack Obama campaign from the Rolling Stones. I got Trooper Radio. This is the theme song of the Barack Obama campaign, playing everywhere. Take a listen to this. Mick Jagger offered it. Lies. That's enough. We'll play that some more throughout the day. By the way, they said 9,500 showed up in Dayton for Obama. Ha! How many did they have to pay to go? Obama campaign email. Weekly Standard. I don't want to lose this election, not because of what losing would mean for me. Michelle and I will be fine no matter what happens, but because what it would mean for our country and middle-class families. Oh, you don't think middle-class families can live without your gas prices, their declining incomes, the declining value of their homes? I think we'll do fine. When we come back after this song, you guys are going to laugh. You're going to laugh so hard. I received an email from Nancy Pelosi from the Democratic National Committee, one of those mass emails, asking me to donate $3, that they needed just 10,000 more people to donate $3. And I'm going to tell you what my response is, and you guys are going to howl.
Did you email her back?
Oh, yeah, I sent an email. You're going to love it. When we come back, more Radio Superbity. Until then, this is Refugee. We need Barack Obama to lose and live like a refugee somewhere else. Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You can call 513-201-8891. 513-201-8891 to pledge some money. You can also go to classxradio.com. You may not realize this, but this is a public radio station, nonprofit. By the way, I do not get paid. Well, I get paid with the pure enjoyment of doing radio. So don't worry. Your donation will just help Bill Spry and his expenses. It doesn't help me any, so do it. And tomorrow from 6 to 6, I'll be on with one break. Well, actually, you know what? My court in the afternoon got booted, so I may not be in court tomorrow. But I'm still going to have Dan Francis to come in here. If you're here, you can... you can do the show with him, but I'm going to have Dan it's good for Dan to get some time anyway, so he'll be in from noon to 3 tomorrow, whether I got court or not.
I'll give you a nap time.
Give me a little break, give me a nap, and everything else. But how about some traffic? Is there any traffic out there that we need to report?
Yeah, we're having that problem on 71, 75, really watching that traffic. Heading northbound from 275, you're looking at about 30 to 35 minutes there as far as a delay. There was an accident on 71. 75, right around Dixie. It was on the left shoulder. They moved it over to the right. But it's pretty much just bumper to bumper. Nobody likes that. Central Parkway at West McMillan, there's an accident there. Drake at Wasson, they still haven't cleared that one. And Route 28 at Old State Route 28. So a couple problems there. The rest of the traffic, it's slow in all of your typical spots, so I won't go through all of those right now. But the biggest problem, 71, 75.
Very good. This is funny. Barack Obama released a 20-page glossy covered book detailing Obama's plans from education to energy reform. 3.5 million copies are being printed. Field offices are receiving 1.5 million of them, and they're going to put these out in the swing state. Now, I thought of a funny little quip. I've trademarked Witty and Wise. How hilarious is that? People cannot use, for entertainment purposes, Witty and Wise without my permission.
You trademarked that.
And by the way, I got something funny to tell you about Bulldog Nation. We have our first trademark infringement, and you guys are going to laugh. But anyway, I thought of something. Those people that are going to vote for Barack Obama, most of them can't read. So what a big waste of money to do a 20-page glossy covered book. Because people that vote for Barack Obama, most of them can't read, can they?
Is that why he's worried about everybody in the jails being able to vote, even if they're just in there temporarily trying to get them out so they can vote?
How messed up is that? You're campaigning for people in jails to vote. Unbelievable. Wall Street Journal, David Rifkin and Elizabeth Foley. Republicans pay lip service to federalism, but too often toss it aside to achieve their own policy goals. For example, many congressional Republicans concerned about abusive lawsuits would nationalize many aspects of medical malpractice, an area of law traditionally reserved to the states. Amen, and that's true. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to bash the Republicans. And you know I do all the time. Let me bash the Republicans and Mitt Romney. One of the tragedies of how bad George Bush is, and he gives us Barack Obama, and one of the tragedies that Barack Obama is so bad is it does swing back 180 degrees, and it's not always the right way. The policies that Mitt Romney and the Republicans will adopt for the quote-unquote little guy aren't going to be all good. Economically, they will be, because they're going to create more jobs for the little guy. So on the economic front, Romney and the Republicans are good for the little guy. But in matters that I'm involved with, law, not good for the little guy. Judges that they appoint, not pro-plaintiff. They're pro-business. So, they're the kind of people that are going to block a class action lawsuit. They're going to block fraud lawsuits against businesses. They're going to, block litigation. And as I pointed out before, why shouldn't any company be allowed to be sued if they commit a fraud, Garrett? You know what I mean?
Shouldn't, right.
Let me see. Wall Street Journal opinion, Holman Jenkins. Where Mr. Romney might go wrong in the White House is also becoming clear. He might be too detail-oriented. He may lack strong convictions at a time when aimless will to compromise would only produce executive chaos. I don't think so. I'm not worried about that. Oh, this is a great one. Yesterday was one of the days of President Kennedy's 13 days, which, by the way, true story. The scariest 13 days in the history of the world. That is no doubt the closest we've come to full-blown nuclear war. That 13 days. I watched the PBS special last night at 1 a.m. By the way, I worked till 3:30, got up at 4:45. An hour and 15 minutes sleep. It's the way the Bulldog rolls.
That's why you can't...
But anyway, get this, though. True story. The blockade, there was a submarine, Soviet Union submarine commander that was told to launch, and he didn't. True story. He was told to launch, and he didn't. And he said, an order is an order, but war is war. Now, ladies and the gentlemen of the American jury, many of you that say, a soldier's a soldier and he's got to follow an order. And many of you that mock me when I talk to you about rules and how I think there's too many rules out there and everything else. And I saved this article, and I can't find it. I'll find it here in a minute. But how incredible is that? He did not follow the order to launch.
What happened to him then?
He didn't launch, and the Soviet ended up standing down. The Soviets stood down, and nuclear war was averted. He could have launched. He disobeyed an order.
Wow. Why?
And saved the world. He didn't want to do it. He knew what would happen if he did it.
What did they do to him?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to him.
They fired him.
All I know is you watch this story and you're like, whoa. I got to get his name because I want to give him Oracle status. Let me see. What else do we have here? It is impossible. This is from the New York Times. It's impossible to look at the GOP's behavior in the last 4 years from its unwillingness to consider Obama's jobs bill, Puke City, which was praised by independent. It was not praised by independent. Ladies and gentlemen, the October surprises are going to begin. And when we come back from this break, well, not yet, but we're going to get into it. And I'm going to tell you what everybody's doing, what the Romney campaign's doing, and apparently what or Donald Trump's doing, and what the Obama campaign is doing. It's pretty incredible. We're also coming up, I'm going to cover some more lawsuits that I filed and are going to file. We led the good old news net last night, 5/9/12/19 lead story.
Saw it this morning.
Did you see it this morning?
I did.
Nice.
By the way, tattoos, if you get a tattoo, this is so awesome. My son, when he turned 18, started getting some tattoos. He's got one on his wrist he wants to get taken off. My son, quote unquote, I wish I never started.
Really?
He's 20, and he wishes he didn't get tatted at all.
Did you have a tattoo?
I have one tattoo. It's an eagle
Where
on my
at?
left shoulder. And I am going to get a tattoo of my Bulldog logo on my right.
Why did you get the eagle?
Next week when I take off my shirt to show my underwear modeling, it's going to break all records for our video podcast when I show my abdomen.
Dear Lord.
Yes.
But I will also show we're going to make you leave the room.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I'll have to go watch it on video.
But I'll show you my tattoo, but I got to get the Bulldog logo on my right shoulder.
I was going to show my abs, too, as like a sort of a comparison.
Absolutely.
Right?
We'll do that. You'll have a chance to show your abs.
Denise has actually told me in private that she wanted to my abs, so...
Your ab?
My ab.
Some more things we're going to cover today. You're going to love this stuff. I'm going to talk about the way they dressed in the debate, Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, an infringement on Bulldog Nation, the first of its kind. Oh.
Who's breaking laws?
True story. Yesterday I got an email from somebody. He says, I'm not breaking attorney-client privilege. He says, the police confiscated my laptop and are going to charge me with child porn. Can you help me? I referred him to a lawyer friend of mine that does child porn defenses. I can't. And I said, no, I can't. And I mean, I don't. And I said, he said, well, can you give me some free advice? I said, if you're innocent, shout it from the mountaintops. If you're guilty, do what he tells you to do. He didn't email me back and say, oh, okay, I'm innocent. And this makes me sick. But I can't. See, once again, people think I'm a whore and I take everything. No.
Yeah.
Would never. I cannot handle. I could not do a child porn case.
I've told people that, and they were like, that's actually, because people do. People think
A
that.
buddy of mine was on a jury
Yeah.
in a child porn case, and they had to watch it.
Oh.
He said the prosecutor, he thought was a little weird because he was playing it way too much. I said, how could you watch that?
I'm surprised they're allowed to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is Joan Jett. I love rock and roll. Child porn never, Joan Jett forever on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. How about a traffic report, Denise Johnson?
Well, we got some slow traffic. I mean, it's pretty heavy traffic around the tri-state for this time of day. I guess it is 7:30, so still dealing with the problem 7175 at an earlier accident at Dixie, and that has you backed up. You're looking at almost 40 minutes from 275 heading northbound on 7175, so you've got those problems there. And then a couple of other accidents still dealing with one. I'm surprised this one's still out there. This says Route 28 at State Route Old 28 there. And then that one just cleared. So there's another one, Central Parkway, just west at West McMillan. And then, a couple others popping up. There's the accident in Northern Kentucky at 7175. Again, that's 35 minutes. And then the traffic heading southbound on 75, I looked at that. That's all the way back to Tylersville Road down to 275. So that's about a 30-minute delay. And 71 looking the same. So it's really heavy traffic out there today as far as, like, the last few days it hasn't been too bad. So
To prove my point about the Obama voter, thank you, Denise.
You're welcome.
Jake, find, and I've already seen this, and a lot of people have heard it, but some people may not. Find on YouTube Howard Stern Obama voters interviews. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah.
It is hilarious.
Did I send that to you the other day?
I don't know. Maybe you did, but we got it. We'll play
Oh,
this, and it proves my point about Obama voters. It's good stuff. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, we have announced that Trooper, Raise a Little Hell, is the official theme song of Bulldog Nation, which is trademarked.
We haven't been playing George Harrison in a while. Should we start playing Trooper at the end of shows?
No. George Harrison is still reverence for that. That is our going away song. You know, in my funeral, that's going to be the recessional hymn to close out What is Life for all my fans. How about this, folks? Bulldog Nation, trademarked. Witty and Wise, trademarked. Superbity, Radio Superbity, trademarked. Bulldog Mafia, trademarked. Judge Bulldog, trademark. Bulldog is an entertainer for television, radio, trademarked. There is not a Bulldog in radio and television besides yours truly. Now there cannot be.
Because you are it.
Pays to be an attorney.
How much does it cost to get you a trademark?
I'm going to promote. I got to be careful. If you would like some more information about a trademark attorney, you should contact Chris Mackey in Newport. That's Tricia Mackey's husband. If you would like some more information about trademarking something that you have, you ought to call. He is my trademark attorney. And that's what he does. But if these things are going to pay fruit, can you imagine? And again, look at all the things you can Bulldog. Bulldog cologne, Bulldog security alarms. We want to Bulldog the world, don't we?
There you go. What about the things that already have that name?
Oh, remind me off the air. You are going to laugh your butts off. Remind me off the air. I got to tell you a story that I can't tell on the radio. Barnes & Noble, they are warning customers to be vigilant for identity theft after hackers stole credit card information from 63 stores. Well, the iPad's here. It debuts in San Jose. The iPad Mini will start at $329, up to $459. Pre-orders for the iPad Mini begin Friday, October 26. The output of U.S. oil is rising so quickly that the per-day barrel output could top Saudi Arabia by 2020. Yes. College price is rising, $39,520 for private, nonprofit colleges. Public colleges averaging $17,860. My God. How about this? Gucci has released a $14,000 bicycle, matching helmet $890, water bottle $105.
Why?
The bike does have suspension, but does not have suspension, but does come with disc brakes.
Nobody that has that kind of money is actually going to ride a bike like that anyway.
That's a good point. Let me see here. Facebook reported their earnings. Revenue jumped 32%, but it reported a $59 million loss. Oh, well, a loss. The company that makes America's best-selling hard cider, Woodchuck, Vermont Hard Cider Company, was bought by C&C Group of Ireland. The Irish are taking over. We Irish, we really like a hard cider.
We need to have.
We do
love their beer.
My wife says that when her and her sons went to Ireland last year, there was a pub on every freaking corner.
Oh, that's awesome.
She said they drink from breakfast to sleep.
God love
She
them.
Couldn't believe it. People wonder why Guinness is so successful.
That's because they drink all day.
Jeez.
I'm going to have to produce your show from Ireland. Yeah, road trip.
Well, you know what? When we get big time, we'll do a show from Ireland. For St. Patrick's Day, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, that'll be my birthday.
Just drink on the air all day.
Is your birthday St. Patrick's
Day?
Day?
Day after. Does
Day
that
after?
count?
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does, because then we can celebrate the day before.
It's been a while since I've given the economic statistics for America. Here we go. Budget deficit. Those of you who don't know, that's the difference between what we bring in and what we're spending. $1 trillion, $1 billion. Thank you, Barack Obama. National debt, $16 trillion. Debt per person, $51,000. Debt per taxpayer, $141,000. Actual unemployed, $22 million. Food stamp recipients, 47 million. Unfunded liabilities, Social Security, 15 trillion. Prescription drugs, thank you Republicans and Democrats, 21 trillion. Medicare, 84 trillion. Unfunded liabilities total, 121 trillion. Per taxpayer, $1,057,000. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, if you vote for Barack Obama, who continues to submit no budget, and the Democrats who don't want to do anything about the budget or the debt, you are stupid. That means, that's right, George Clooney is stupid. Bruce Springsteen is stupid. I love their acting. I love their music, but they're still stupid. And maybe you're stupid too.
Jackwagons.
By the way, have you ever heard that big lard-ass Schultz on some liberal radio station? He went on a rant saying, do you want the Republicans, ladies, to control your vagina? I couldn't believe Jack wagging up Ed Schultz.
Jackwagon?
How does he get a national radio show? Unbelievable.
Hey, you want to play some of that Obama supporter stuff?
Not yet. We will when we come back.
All right.
We come back. For now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, this was one of my... This almost could have taken on George Harrison, What Is Life, for one of my favorite feel-good songs of all time. Sunburn by Owl City was another one. But this song here, man, it just makes me feel good, fires me up. Do you remember Sweet?
No, I don't.
Sweet was a late 1970s band. I mean, they kind of looked like ABBA the way they were dressed.
Really?
Yeah, I think they were British. They were funky. Willie, their trifecta was...
You're a big Sweet fan.
Yeah, Barroom Blitz, Little Willie, and this is a song that I sung on Bulldog's Roadhouse Bar, drunk, with a microphone, with my staff a couple years ago. This is Fox on the Run by Sweet. Enjoy, folks. This song rocks on Class X Radio. Bulldog on Class X Radio, baby. You got to be stupid. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, to show you what I mean, that these glossy 24-page booklets that Obama ordered $3.5 million, as Williams said, witty and wise, waste of paper. This is unbelievable. Howard Stern went out there and interviewed some people. It's clean, isn't it? I think it's clean.
Yeah.
If it's not clean, dump it. By the way, do we have a delay button here?
Yes.
All right.
I believe so.
Yeah, go ahead and listen to this, folks. You'll be laughing in your car.
He trying to change the U.S.
Absolutely. And what do you like that he's done so far?
I mean, he done got the Medicaid and all that, the medical thing going. You know what I'm saying? He got most of the jobs like he said he would. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and
black unemployment's
really
doubled
but he
under
need
Obama.
To improve more, so he needs to stay on up in.
Income
so
down 11%.
Do more, you know what I'm saying? Things like he said he would.
Yeah. Do you hope he will eventually find and kill Bin Laden?
He'll eventually do it, though.
You think he'll eventually find him and kill him if he wins? Do you know who you're going to vote for in this election?
Obama. I just don't like Romney.
What is it about Mitt Romney that you don't like? Is it that he's pro-choice, or?
Yes, and it's just it's him in general. I just don't like him.
Because he's a Muslim?
No, it has nothing to do with religion or what his views are. I just don't like him.
Do you think Obama made the right choice by choosing Paul Ryan as his vice president?
Yes.
Do you think he picked Paul Ryan because he's African American or because he's qualified?
It could be a little bit of both.
And do you think McCain has a shot this time out to beat Obama for this election?
No. I just don't see McCain as like presidential material. I don't see it.
What percentage of the vote do you think McCain will get over Obama this time?
About 20, I guess.
If Obama wins this time, are you hoping that we finally catch and kill Osama bin Laden?
Honestly, I don't agree with the whole war thing, but if we,
Do you think he should just go to jail then, bin Laden?
Yeah, he could be tortured, but, I don't believe in killing.
How long of a jail term do you think bin Laden should get when we find him?
It should be indefinite.
Is that not classic?
Unbelievable. These people are so
stupid.
Yeah, it's not even.
Is there another one?
Stupid. Yeah.
All right, here's some more stupidity. These are all Obama supporters.
Are you happy with Obama's vice president pick, Paul Ryan?
Yeah, because Paul Ryan have a lot of issues. Because anything the media show to him in the TV is not right.
Do you like Obama because he's pro-life? Is that one of the reasons why you would vote for Obama?
Yeah, I like Obama. A lot of issues for the human rights side. And,
like pro-life?
Pro-life, international, democracy,
Check this guy's papers.
Gay marriage?
Oh, yeah, that's a human being.
So you like that Obama's against that?
Yeah, I like Obama, the way he do about the politics. I like that.
Do you support Mitt Romney because he's black?
No, doesn't matter to me. It's the issue to tell people what you're running for, explain to people your issue. Policy is the issue.
Now, are you upset that Romney is for gay marriage? Does that bother you?
Yeah, that bothers me.
Who are you voting for this election, Obama or Romney?
Obama.
Why is it?
He's done more.
Do you like Obama because he's pro-life?
Yeah, I'm for that. Yeah.
Do you support his vice president pick, Paul Ryan?
Yeah, I do.
What do you like about him?
Paul Ryan always has the stats out. He's always come with stats, He basically knows what's going on.
Unlike
really
you.
Shape,
yeah, true.
Do you think people are upset that Sarah Palin's running again
I
this
love
time?
that guy's voice.
I think she's probably got a little bit more
Sounds like
experience
you,
this time than last time.
Does it bother you that Obama is a Mormon?
No.
It's funny, but it almost just makes me mad,
It's sad.
too. But those are the kind of people that are going to be voting just because he's black.
John Adams had a rejuvenation in this country in the past 5 years over the McCullough biography and then the HBO series, and now he's finally going to get a statue in Washington. And John Adams famously said to the effect that for us to hold on to the republic, it requires an intelligent, paying attention public. Sorry, folks. Now we
don't have that.
Now I just want to go ahead and just say this. My guess is that 2 of my 3 children, who would do much better than that, way better than that, don't know as much as I wish they did. But gosh, I know they know more than that. In fact, it's neat to sit there and watch. Like my son will come in, and I'll be watching Fox or something, and I love when he says something that shows he's thinking. Like he'll say, "How can he do it?" I mean, it's like, my God, he's paying attention a little bit.
They surprise you sometimes.
They do, and it's awesome when they do.
I know my oldest, well, both of my boys actually, 22 and 20, and they will fight with their dad. They're both Obama supporters. So, my ex and I will go at it with them, and the difference of opinions. But it's interesting.
Change.
They will as they grow up.
Will.
But
I started out as an independent voter. After 1 year, became a Republican because of Reagan. Then I became a Democrat just because I was mad. Went back to Republican. Now I'm an independent. This is Rebel Yell by Billy Idol on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Well, I got another day of jam-packed legal work. It's the way I like it. By the way, do not ever, 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 ever think that I am too busy for your case, because the Bulldog is a lawyer 24/7.
man never sleeps.
It's not made up. If you've missed it earlier, we just have to throw this in the president's face. The U.S. Marine Corps' website says every Marine is still required to complete a bayonet training program because the weapon becomes just as effective as a rifle in close quarters. Your commander-in-chief, Barack I'm a dumbass Obama. Didn't know that. I find that incredible. Now, everybody, well, before I get to the October surprises, give us a traffic report, Denise, because I'll get rolling and then I'll forget you.
Okay. 471, there's an accident right around 71, so on the other side of the Big Mac Bridge there, but that traffic is backed up all the way back to 275, even both the on-ramps coming in both directions towards 471. You're, heavy traffic there. Still dealing with problems northbound 71, 75, where we had the accident at Dixie. That just caused problems this morning and just made everybody really, it's still looking at 40 minutes from 275, really all the way back to like the Donaldson Road exit there in Erlanger. And the rest of the interstates, that traffic pretty heavy. I mean, 275 right around Loveland, Madeira. You have an accident. Now, this one was a new one that came in, and that is on 75, right in the middle. Let me pull it up here. 75 southbound, just between Mitchell. Let me see here. They actually have that cleared, but that traffic is still backed up. And that was right between Mitchell and the Norwood Lateral. So they did clear it out of the way, but the leftover traffic is still there. So still dealing with that. And it looks like another one that came up here. Southbound 275, westbound at 75. So plenty of accidents and plenty of really, really slow traffic. So expect some delays. You might want to allow an extra 20 to 25 minutes pretty much on all the major interstates if you're heading inbound.
Thank you, Denise. All right, we have the battle of Gloria Allred and Donald Trump going on. Here apparently is what Gloria Allred's October surprise, or I would call it the October flop, is going to be. Involves allegation about a child custody matter that the Republican presidential hopeful testified about involving his very good friend and former CEO of Staples, Tom Sternberg, and his divorce from one of his two ex-wives, reported by Radar Online. The founder of Staples, who spoke on behalf of Governor Mitt Romney at the Republican National Convention, has 4 sons from 2 different ex-wives, Maureen Sullivan, Steinberg, and Dola Hamilton Stemberg, I guess. Mitt Romney's hedge fund, Bain Capital, he was an early investor of Staples. Governor Mitt Romney gave sworn testimony about his observations of Tom's role as a father to his 4 sons. Stemberg's first wife, Maureen, told a documentary, The Maureen Sullivan Stemberg Show, A Portrait in Courage. Oh, my God. Maureen Sullivan Stemberg will provide an in-depth account in this first-time tell-all tale of the interweaving relationships and strange bedfellow that business has made in her life. Oh, my God. Can you say nothing? Tom Stemberg's divorce attorney, Joel Kostel, is expected to be at the family law courthouse in the Boston area on Wednesday morning as the Boston Globe petitions to have the court records unsealed. Oh, it's going to happen today. Boston Globe, I'm telling you right now. Hacks. Miss Allred Klein feels that the public needs to know about Governor Mitt Romney's role in this very important case. What? Who cares? Stemberg said it the first time he met Romney. When you first walked in and saw Mitt, he looked like a guy who ought to be the president of the United States. I mean, come on. That is the best they got. So guess what Donald Trump's going to do? Now, just remember, the Romney campaign turned down information about Barack Obama's cocaine use and apparently selling cocaine. Well, Donald Trump is going to claim that he has unearthed divorce papers of Michelle Obama and the president, according to a respected financial pundit. It is alleged that the eccentric real estate mogul will claim that documents show the First Lady and the President were at one point in their 2 decades of marriage considering splitting up. All I got to say about this, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, if you've been married before, with few exceptions, there's probably some evidence that you were thinking about splitting up. Who's been married has not thought, well, maybe my marriage isn't going to work. Trump set the hair running on Monday by claiming he was set to make an announcement Wednesday, bordering on gigantic. Now, the only thing I would say about this is if there's something in the divorce papers that would be incriminating of the president's psychologically, behavior-wise, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if it would say that, okay, maybe it says Barack Obama was born in Kenya. That would be big. I mean, if Michelle Obama put in a legal paper that he was born in Kenya, that would be good. The president, let me see. So who knows what that, what's going to happen. I do know this. Everybody knows this. Michelle Obama wears the pants in the family. She's the one that got him the job, apparently as a Chicago professor. Let me see what they have in here.
A lot of women, don't you think?
In interviews, the Obamas in the past admitted going through a rocky patch. Again, who the hell hasn't? In Klein's book called The Amateur, he claimed Mrs. Obama prepared the divorce papers to separate from the president in 2000 following his disastrous attempt to win a House seat in Chicago. Way to stand by your man, Michelle. I hate her. He lost miserably. She was disgusted that her husband had put to risk their stable and secure future. Says that Mr. Obama was so depressed, friends feared he was suicidal. What do you think? What's my next song? You got it picked out there? I don't got the Post-it note, man.
A whole bunch. He was listening to everything you were saying.
We're still a little early. How about some U2?
Well, I know it's too early, but I didn't know how long I had to go.
All right, let me go.
Well, it's a little too late now. When we come back with this big... Here I can go. Class X Radio Fall Pledge Drive. Call 513-201-8891 or go on classxradio.com. Remember, if you need some information about the Bulldog, you can text me at 859-250-2527, or you can email me at eric@ericdeters.com, or you can go to my website at ericdeters.com. I Facebook all over the place, Eric Deters, Eric Charles Deters. Also, we put up these podcasts and simulcast by video on classxradio.com and thebulldogsnation.com. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
You got something I can tell you're dying to say something.
Well,
Denise.
I was just going to read, we've got a 12-hour marathon tomorrow, so for this pledge drive that you were just talking about for Class X Radio.
12 hours.
The Bulldog's going to be on the air for 12 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and anybody that makes a donation, they can put their name, we're going to put their name in the hat, and they're going to get a chance to win 2 tickets to Starship, which is this weekend, and that's a meet and greet and dinner, and that's at the Syndicate, and the show's this Friday, so that's coming up.
Rabbit.
There you go.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? I got a funny. Remind me of my date to see that movie.
Okay.
We come back. You guys are going to laugh. I'll have you rolling again. Remember, Class X Radio can be listened to on 88.9 FM and 89.1 FM, the new breed of rock. You can also go to classxradio.com and listen to live TuneIn radio. You can also listen to it. And there's an app. A Class X app. Also, when we come back, I'm going to tell the story. The Bulldog Mafia has just gotten a lot tougher on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. It was nice to have some visitors from some friendly competitors, isn't it? Friendly competitors. This is kind of interesting. Michelle and I will be fine no matter what happens. That is bizarre. How about a traffic report, Denise?
Well, we had originally talked about an accident was blocking this center lane. I can't see it on here. They're still kind of saying that is there, southbound 75. Now, that is between, southbound 75 just south. They're saying another one there at Glendale, Milford. So this one, though, let me pull it up here again. And that is right around Town Street. So actually, the 2 left lanes are blocked. There was another accident earlier that had the center lane blocked. So now the 2 left lanes are blocked, southbound 75, and you are backed up all the way back to Glendale, Milford. That's where Glendale, Milford. So you've got some long delays there. 35, 40 minutes is... you can add that on to your normal commute. So if it's normally a 20-minute trip, you can add that on there. Also still dealing with problems on 71, 75, and on 471 due to earlier accidents there. You're backed up both of those areas pretty much all the way back to 275 as well.
Thank you. Very good. God, there's so much I wanted to talk about. I don't know what to talk about first here. Let's talk about these funny things on the Drudge Report. The Democrats apparently were offering students free pizza T-shirts in exchange for voting. That's a crime. It's a crime. Can you imagine the fraud that is going to go on? Like in Florida, they got mailed from Seattle letters from people saying they had to show proof of their nationality to vote. There's a lot of people on the fence. That can affect an election. And I can tell you right now, Obama's people are going to do anything and everything, man. They're Chicago thugs. It's just the way they roll. I do want to tell you this, though. And I call it being the club car. Once upon a time, I was the chairman of the Kenton County Republican Party in the 4th Congressional District Republican chairman when Jim Bunning was congressman. And that put me on the state central committee of the Republican Party. And I remember being in these meetings where there was Senator McConnell, Jim Bunning, former Governor Louis Nunn, and they were talking about big issues relative to the party and whatnot. And, of course, I ran campaigns, too, where I was in these rooms, the quote-unquote smoke-filled rooms, and I call it being in the club car. There's people that are in the club car and people that are outside the club car. Let me give you an example. Rob Portman is in the club car of the Romney campaign. Been traveling with him everywhere. And he's also a connection back to the Bush folks. Portman is in the club car. He's a real insider versus maybe a county chairman that isn't really, there. And when you are in the club car, you know things that nobody else knows. The fact that Mitt Romney, at the debate the other night, didn't fight, didn't use the Libya, didn't engage Obama in a fight, tells me, knowing what I know about politics, that Romney's internal polling, what their internal polling is showing. Because not only do you have Rasmussen and all them, they're doing their own polling, and I guarantee you they're doing their own polling in Ohio and battleground states. I will bet you what his experts are telling him, what Romney's experts are telling him, and Obama's experts are telling him, that there's a movement going in battleground states such as Ohio that's all in Romney's favor, and that based upon past elections, blah, 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 he's going to win Ohio. And they know that. And Obama's knowing it. For Obama to come in and be begging for votes and say, oh, we'll be okay, and everything else is very defeatist. No president has ever won or lost, or a candidate, when they were up 50% favorable rating at this time. Romney's there, okay? Now, there's first for everything, don't get me wrong. Here's something else. Pennsylvania, which has gotten close, really interesting story. Analysis. Romney has over $30 million than Obama. Obama thought Pennsylvania was in the bag. Same electoral votes as Ohio. It's really close now, within the margin of error. They haven't ran in Pennsylvania all of those pound, Romney into the ground ads because they thought they hadn't won. Romney can swoop in the major media markets, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, run positive campaign ads, and steal Pennsylvania. And the fact that they had Ryan there the other day, I'll guarantee you internal polling shows he can win Pennsylvania. And guess what else, folks? Pennsylvania is a coal state. It's coal. Ohio has some coal. And we all know that Obama wanted to put the coal business out of business. The Rasmussen poll, Drudge today. Romney 50%, 46. That's a movement of a couple points. Gallup 51-46. Let's hope and pray that Romney has got this thing rolling his way. You know, I really respect Dick Morris. He thinks he'll get 300 electoral votes. Remember, you need 270. And I've kind of always felt that, too. All right, a traffic report now, Denise, please.
Okay, we were talking about that accident southbound 75. Now that's just south of Town Street. And basically that traffic, it says it's stop and go here. It's pretty solid traffic all the way back to Glendale, Milford. So in that Hamilton area. So that's quite a ways. And that's going to take you about 40 minutes right now, plus your normal travel time. Northbound on 471, they had that accident right around 71. So that was on the north side of the Daniel Carter Beard Bridge. So that's still got you backed up. That traffic was slow all the way back to 275. Accident Central Parkway and West McMillan, that should be cleared by now, actually. And westbound 275 right at 75. So if you're heading, that's on the right shoulder. Not really seeing that it's causing a huge problem. Normal delays there. And then an accident on the ramp from southbound Turkey Foot to 275. So watch for that as well.
Thank you, Denise. Hey, Jake, were you able to find the Chris Farley, the whole thing down by the river from SNL? Find that whole skit. We have to share that. It is just too good. My Halloween party is this Friday night at the Drawbridge, 7 to 11. You have to RSVP, and it was by invitation only. But if you're a big fan of mine or a friend or client of mine, and for some stupid reason you didn't get an invitation, email me at eric@ericdeters.com, and I'll send you one.
You going to have the mafia at the door letting people in?
Yeah, Bulldog Mafia. I got to tell that story. We have our first infringement on our trademark. Very, very funny stuff. And you all heard about Romney's helium blimp going down, didn't you, in Florida? He had a big campaign blimp. It crashed. Not good. Not good at all. I don't know, man. Let me see what else. I've covered that. Oh, yesterday, I got my weekly massage last night. Oh, my goodness, does it feel so darn good. Massages are good things. They are.
You need to get your massage therapist to donate some, like a free massage so we can,
it's a good idea.
Throw that off to the
free massage to me.
To you? Well, if you sponsor Class X, we could throw it in the pot because we've got some other prizes, too, for Thursday.
When we come back, thank you, Denise, 513-201-8891 or ClassXRadio.com if you want to be a sponsor. We are a public radio station. And when we come back, we're going to have more radio superbity on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. All of a sudden I realize they have all kinds of things I want to cover in the next 30 minutes. First, traffic report.
Still have that problem southbound 75. That's a big problem, and that accident is blocking the two left lanes just south of Town Street. You're backed up all the way back to Glendale, Milford, almost to 275. Allow about 45 minutes in addition to your travel time heading in that direction. So 71, 75, that's slow as well. I got the sun in your eyes over there, but, it's going to be another nice day. 471 looking better, though.
Class X, thank you. Class X Radio is a non-profit radio station, not-for-profit, and they're having a pledge drive this week. You can call 513-201-8891 and sponsor Class X Radio. And, Denise, will you please send me an email and remind me to remind William and Rebecca and my team that tonight or this evening we got to start promoting the hell out of my show tomorrow, which is going to go from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 12 hours of radio superbity.
Get it together, William.
Now, I have to cover this because this was such a big news in national politics, and I've had it here. I was holding it for last. We've got emails now. CBS News has obtained emails from the State Department. At 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on September 11th, an alert from the State Department Operations Center was issued to a number of government and intelligence agencies. Included were the White House Situation Room, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, and the FBI. At 4:54 p.m., less than an hour later, another alert, the firing in Benghazi has stopped. Then at 6:07, State sent another alert. These emails show the White House and the state watch this in real time. 14 hours after the attack, Obama sat down with Steve Kroll for 60 Minutes for a previously scheduled interview and said he did not believe it was simply due to mob violence. You're right, this is not a situation that was the same as what happened in Egypt. My suspicion is there are folks involved in this who are looking to target Americans from the start, said Mr. Obama. The White House and State Department declined comment on the email alerts. You know, there's no way that you could send out the UN ambassador that weekend claiming this was based on a video. The emails nail them. It's almost criminal. It really is. It's almost criminal. Maybe it is. It's just lying to the American people, but I guess lying to the American people, they've been doing it all along. The White House was told of the militant claim 2 hours at the Libya attack, the attack on the Benghazi consulate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, you are about to laugh. We have trademarked Bulldog Nation. There are 277 high schools and colleges that carry that name, including the California Fresno State Bulldogs. We have found out that there is a prison gang in Fresno. People that are in prison, like real bad guy prison, like maximum security like prison. There's a gang inside the Fresno State Prison, and when they get out of prison, they stay in the gang, and they are called Bulldog Nation. These are killers, robbers, burglars, bad guys.
Let's sue them.
Now listen, we have a major decision to make. The executive committee of Bulldog Nation and the Bulldog Mafia, which is the enforcement arm of Bulldog Nation, and everybody in this room is, of course, a captain of Bulldog Nation. You'll be our Angie Dickinson. Anyway, the bottom line is this. Do I sue? Do I make a personal visit to the prison to meet with the head of the gang for infringement? How do I handle this? Now, I came up with another possible option. That we contact them, I, as the godfather of the Bulldog Mafia and the commander of the Bulldog Nation, and I say to these criminals and miscreants, who are probably pretty big and tough and tattoos all over their bodies, and say this: as long as you agree to aid and abet Bulldog Mafia, any enforcement actions where we may require assistance, we will not sue you for trademark infringement.
Is that after they get out of jail?
I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of think.
But there's a Bulldog Nation inside a prison in Fresno infringing upon my rights.
Let's go to the prison and laugh at them inside their cells.
I'm thinking
go na 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 na.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't like that approach at all.
I'm out here and you're in there.
I think you take your video camera, you go in, you talk to them about it, keep it nice and calm, and
Jake had a good idea. Let's give them T-shirts.
Give them T-shirts.
Give them Bulldog Nation tees.
There you go.
Apparel.
That's funny.
And mini radios so they can listen to your show. Hey. Do they get Class X out in California?
On the internet,
we're not going to play a song this time. I got too much stuff to talk about.
Internet, they can get it in. Sure.
We don't get past the Rockies.
Get this. Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic National Committee sent out this $3 thing. I responded back because it was a reply. $3. There you go. I replied, what if I only have $1 to donate?
Like so
I'm waiting on their reply.
Did you reply?
I thought it was pretty witty. Yeah, I replied.
That's pretty good.
I replied, what if I only have $1 to donate? I'll bet you they say, we'll take it. Probably. We're so desperate, we'll take it.
Put a 34-cent stamp or whatever. What are stamps anymore? Does anyone mail it?
Now, here's another. Here is another. You know what we ought to do? The underboss. You know what? Here's what a real godfather would do in this kind of situation. The real godfather would send the underboss out to kind of check out the situation, kind of explore it, kind of talk to some people, kind of gauge things as my emissary. That's what I think I'm going to do.
You're going to send him to Fresno? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think I'm going to send Chuck out to the Fresno Bulldog Nation
State
prison
pen.
and say, get some information. For example, if these guys are like, if they committed cold-blooded murder, I don't want to be affiliated with them. But let's say they murdered people in self-defense. Maybe they could be part of us. I don't know. I don't want to get our nation caught up in some bad guys that are crooks and rapists and real criminals.
Maybe you could take up their cases.
That's an idea. Maybe I could
pending.
I'll become a California licensed lawyer.
There you go.
I do like the idea of sending them T-shirts. The debate the other night. Did you notice Mitt Romney comes out, blue suit, white shirt, red tie. Obama had a blue tie on. Looked terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, whenever you have a very, very, very important meeting, court appearance, whatever, and you're somebody that wears a suit, tip for you. Blue suit, blue or white shirt, red tie. You never can go wrong.
I don't want a leisure suit in there.
Obama's baby blue tie looked stupid. You know what? It changes appearance. Isn't it wild how a tie itself can
power tie
change things, like that dark red tie that Obama wore that made him look like Darth Vader?
That's a power tie.
That's
what they call it. When you go to buy a tie.
And do you know this? You can be ordained a minister by spending 2 hours on the internet. I'm going to become an ordained minister. So any of you members of Bulldog Nation want me to marry, I'll be able to marry you. And get this. In Kentucky, they have a constable. You elect a constable. A constable can actually have a cruiser. A constable can actually have deputies. I'm going to run for constable in my neck of the woods so I can drive around in a cruiser. I'm going to appoint the underboss, Chuck Holbrook. All of you deputies will buy a fleet of old cruisers, and the Bulldog Mafia will have cruisers.
We should get those type of cruisers with the one siren that you have to attach every time you go on a run.
How do you like
to
that?
The top of the car.
Bulldog Mafia, all sworn
what
deputies.
What is a constable? What's the difference between that and a sheriff?
I have no idea what the hell they do.
I'm going to look it up.
But I'm going to run for it. When we come back, I'm going to update you on some legal matters that you might find of interest. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I can't help it, folks, if a lot of the stuff that I got going on is in the news. You might find all this of interest. So in the interest of the public interest, I'm going to let you know some things. Yesterday, we filed the first class action lawsuit against Dr. Gary Scheer. I want to tell you something right now. I think we represent like 5 estates of people that died. Of course, he's lost his medical license, and the DEA's after him. But the bottom line is Dr. Gary Scheer was prescribing medications to people that didn't need it. These stories are sad. And we filed a lawsuit on behalf of all those people that didn't die, but they were receiving medications that they didn't need, and now no doctor will take them, and they're trying to get off. It's terrible. Also, David Dooley, we filed a petition for a reduction of bond. There was supposed to be a hearing yesterday at 1:30. The prosecutor can't make it. But David Dooley, who's accused of the murder of Michelle Mockbee, is going to give public interviews to the press. Today at 12:30, on the courthouse steps in Hamilton County, Tierra Metcalf. She is the woman that was stabbed 8 times at a Metro bus stop. And she's going to be testifying at the grand jury this afternoon. She is going to meet the media. Also, you've seen it on the news last night, 5, 9, 12, and 19. And this morning, Willie's going to be interviewing him at 12. James Lancaster and others have retained me to fight back on the casino collapse. These people, he had a broken back. These people, all they've gotten is workers' compensation benefits because Messer got a special waiver from the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation that they couldn't sue a third party. Let me just put it to you this easy. If you're injured at work, you're stuck with workers' comp, but there's exceptions. If a machine manufacturer screws up that machine that causes you to have your hand cut off, you can also sue the machine manufacturer. Well, there's supposed to be 10 bolts in this beam. There was 2. And these people, my clients have not got, you wouldn't believe their stories. They haven't gotten all their medical bills paid, their wage compensation, pain and suffering. They haven't, and these lawyers were afraid to take this battle on, so they've started to fire them and hire me. How about this, folks? State of Ohio, making tons of money on the old casino. Casino owner, making a ton of money on the old casino. Messer, and by the way, Messer's a great company. Messer, making a ton of money building the casino. But the guys who almost died in the collapse, we say, have a few workers' comp benefits and thank you very much. It gets my blood boiling. The Bulldog's on the case. Also, we will be filing today a case involving St. Elizabeth Medical Center physicians. You go in there for one visit, they might charge you for 3 visits without telling you because you might have asked too many questions. Unbelievable consumer protection issue. Also, Sarah Jones, we are suing the Enquirer in the next day or two. And I'll send a copy of that lawsuit out. So there, you're up to date on all my going-ons in the legal. And we're going to end on a lighthearted note, though. This is Chris Farley from SNL. I want to play the whole clip for you. It's just too funny.
Matt, we're ready for you. His speech is called Go For It. Now, he's used to big groups, so
this is for all of you feeling down today. This is to inspire you, and, get you up off the couch.
All right, how's everybody? Good. Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Now, let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what
we have our very own Chris Farley.
About. First off, I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Now, you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the world by the tail and wrap it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're
just like all you college students under Obama.
As you go out there, that you're not going to amount to jack squat. You're going to end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river. Now, young man, what do you want to do with your life?
Actually, Matt, I kind of want to be a writer.
Well, Lottie frickin' da! We got ourselves a writer here. Hey, Dad, I can't see real good. Is that Bill Shakespeare over there? Huh?
Well, actually, Matt, Ellen and I have encouraged Brian in his writing.
Dad, I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
Now, I wonder, Brian, from what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies. You're going to be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river. Young lady, what do you want to do with your life?
We just want to make you laugh as you start your Monday.
I want to live in a van down by the river.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to live in a van down by the river when you're living in a van down by the river. Now, you kids are probably asking yourselves, hey, Matt, how can we get back on the right track? Well, as I see it, there is only one solution. And that is for me to get my gear, move it on in here, because I'm going to bunk with you, buddy. We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. We're going to wrestle around. Old Matt's going to be your shadow. Here's you, here's Matt. There's you, there.
He fell on a coffee table.
Whoops-a-daisy. Whoops-a-daisy. By God. We're going to have to clean that up later. Me and my buddies, my pals, my amigos. I'm going to get my gear.
Wait, yeah, Matt, you don't have to go.
No,
Matt,
you don't have to do that. We'll never smoke pot again.
Matt, thanks for all you've done.
I don't give a rat's behind because I'm moving in. I'm sick and tired of living in a van down by the river.
Matt Foley. That's a classic, isn't it? By the way, when I run for constable, and you have to understand the people that you live near, they know you the best, so I probably have no chance of winning because, they just know me. You know what I mean? But I could get Dick Morris to run the campaign. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow is yours. Remember, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, 12 hours of radio superbity on Class X Radio.